So, ooh, you can see my whole setup and everything. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that's funny. Um, I just got these glasses yesterday. They're cool. I used to in high school they used to call me Hollywood because I've always been known for my sunglasses. And I have about 10, 15 pairs, believe it or not. I've had friends be like, why do you have to have so many pairs of sunglasses? I'm like, well, this one matches this shirt. Like other people are with their shoes, I am with my sunglasses. And I think it's kind of fun. It's part of my unicorn flair. Okay, so, but when I put these sunglasses on this morning, it's like we never have gray days here in Boulder. It's like always sunny. So, but it's a gray day today. And I'm driving along and I thought I'd just put on those rose-colored sunglasses. And I was like, oh, wow. It's like I didn't even think about it. I just went to put the sunglasses on and wasn't even like aware that I was even about to experience something. But I was like driving along like this. I put my sunglasses on and I went, whoa, wow. All of a sudden, all the green was greener. The blue skies were bluer. And I was like, what just happened? And then I looked at my sunglasses. I was like, oh my God. Oh yeah. They're like rose colored. That's so cool. They're light rose, but they're rose colored. And so then I got to thinking about rose colored glasses and how they can actually, when you're looking through rose colored glasses, it can be a very vivid, beautiful experience. So in rose colored glasses, like it just means that you're only willing to see the good, that you kind of put up you're almost in an illusion. You're almost only believing all the good in something and not seeing the bad, which can be a good and a bad thing. But it's all a matter of like listening to your intuition. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about today. Roses, by the way, are coming up a lot. For one, this is a dusty rose shirt. Rose-colored glasses. In one of my readings Saturday, I think it was, this gal and I smelled very strong rose, and I have rose water in my area. So if you've got rose, use rose, or if roses mean something special to you, then this is a message for you. So having said that, we're really being tested right now. And these lighthouse alerts get a little bit more into the spirituality aspect of this whole thing. I mean, I talk about it in my collective readings too, but when it comes down to like what this whole thing is really, really about, you'll hear more about that in the lighthouse alerts. And I get these lighthouse alerts from patterns, signs, synchronicities, and all kinds of crazy things come together to prompt me to make these. So they're kind of special, and they're kind of live. They're happening now, and if they're not happening now, they will probably happen soon, or you'll start seeing more of it, or something like that. So, and in that is sometimes some information that could be a little bit rattling, I guess you could say. Okay, for one, unicorns have been coming up a lot. They're not rattling, but I'm just saying. It was crazy because I was led to this deck. I forget the name of it, but if I ever forget something, by the way, I put it in the description of the video later. So if I say something and you're kind of like, huh? Or she never mentioned what that was or whatever, then check back in the description of the video and it might be added down there. Okay, so unicorns. So my name, which is Amy, as you know, means beloved. And so I go to this deck and I just am drawn to it because of the Horus eye. If you guys don't know about like Osiris and Horus and all that kind of stuff, you might want to look into it. This might be your opportunity to look into it. So I saw a Horus eye and it just like attracted me. And I went in and I just thought I'd pull a card. And I immediately went and bought the deck. It was just like, I have to have this deck. It's a great deck. it's a different deck. It's very different. It's an oracle deck. But so I go to choose a card, and I choose Beloved. I forget which. I think it's Zadkiel. It's all of these archangels too, which is awesome because you learn all about the archangels. But so I picked this card. It's Beloved, and I always call this my unicorn hair, like just special, sparkly, just huge, sparkling and shining. So I went to this deck, pulled the Beloved card, pulled the unicorns card, pulled the Beloved card, looked it up, and it was all about how unicorns are making an impact on this planet. And I was like, well, that's crazy because, some people call me the unicorn, which is a really very positive, I feel it's a very positive implication that I'm pure of heart and magical. And many of you are as well. That's why you're watching this channel, why you're drawn to me is you're of a similar spirit. But I looked it up and they were talking about how much the unicorns are really helping ascend the planet right now. And I couldn't agree more. I have a unicorn, and the other, yeah, I know this sounds totally crazy. And I'm like a little bit rambling, but I think it'll be worth it in the end. All right. So I actually, the other day, somebody wanted to go to a concert and they didn't want to go alone. They wanted me to come with them, but I had other plans. And so I said, well, I'll send my unicorn with you. And she just kind of was like, all right, I'm open. And I said, oh, you'll feel him next to you. And he's very protective. So, you can borrow him for a couple of hours. So sure enough, she goes to the event. She feels completely comfortable being by herself. And she thanked me. She was like, thanks, he was great. And I've had a couple of instances happen where, and this is leading into another subject that I wanted to talk about today. Okay, so I had a guy who is kind of being, I don't want to say like stalker, but he was kind of, I don't know. I don't even want to, okay, I'm like trying to discern as to how much to share about this story. There might be more that I could share with you in person if you're ever interested in hearing more. But basically, there was someone who was, I don't know, around a lot. And it was really crazy because I was teaching this guy. I was kind of mentoring him a little bit. And I asked him to tune into to this guy that had been hanging around me a lot. And I was like, what do you see in his energy? And he goes, I feel this thing in his throat going, why don't you get it? You're my twin, or something like that. Why don't you get it? You're my true love. And I was like, whoa, that is so trippy because I just saw that too. And so that was very like affirming for me. And then he came to see me once, and he's standing in front of me pretty agitated. And I felt that thing in his throat again. I saw this activity in his throat again, being really angry at me that I wasn't seeing it. And according to what it was feeling, it was obviously not a good spirit. And it was like, it was like, Argh. And so I was just standing there looking at him like, I'm not quite sure what to do. And so then I felt some activity out of the corner of my eye, and I look over and my unicorn is over there, and he just kind of looked at me like, you want me to do something about this? And I was like, just kind of subtly like, yeah, please. And he walked over and he touches his horn down on the guy's head. And the guy literally jumps. He goes like this. He goes, what did you do? What did you do? I just suddenly felt this calm come over me. I was like, ooh, like that's a bad thing, And so that to me was like incredibly affirming. And I was like, holy crap. Like, energy is very real, you guys. What you guys are imagining is not just your imagination. It could be very, very real. And the guy soon left, and he hasn't bothered me since. So, but this is also kind of leading into another subject I wanted to talk about. We are in a spiritual battle. So there are going to be, unfortunately, some people being possessed, weak-minded people who have their ego totally in control of them are going to be lashing out and getting angry at seemingly nothing. more shootings, things like that might happen. You might find somebody just irrationally like going off on you or being obsessed with you, or you might have, stalkers. I have a guy who was kind of a stalker a few years ago when I worked at a hardware store, and he's still at it. He's not bothering me too bad, but he still, says stuff on social media sometimes to try to get my attention or try to get me to like him back or to talk to him or whatever. And I just won't engage. And that's the way to handle that. You have to completely ignore them. Do not talk to them. Do not acknowledge them whatsoever. Do not, don't give in to that behavior. Certainly don't be flattered. Do not be flattered by that. Because that's just somebody who it's their ego. It's totally their ego. So it's like, yeah. So be careful. Be careful of those guys. Just be discerning. And really, this is the time of us learning to use our intuitions for everything. Should I go out with this guy? Should I respond to this one? Should I, it's like constantly be getting in touch with your intuition and listen to any kind of warnings. In that sense, it's like no more rose-colored glasses. Don't just think that because a guy's asking you out, he has good intentions. And I know most of you are like, well, I don't even go out with anybody anyway because I just want my masculine. But I'm just saying, watch yourself. And people are being psychically attacked and stuff like that too. And you don't want to give any power, In fact, I encourage you to laugh at anything negative in your life. It's really important. It's really important to have a sense of humor and to take it all very lightly, because then they have no power. So also, what was the other thing? One of the things that's happening is you guys are light workers. That's what this whole thing is about, is ascending the planet. And it's really important. And we have a really, really huge audience. We have a really huge audience on the other side, a galactic audience. And they're like on the edge of their seat. And what's happening is, since we're light workers out to make a difference and we're about to come together with our counterparts and be like these power couples, the other side, the other powers, the other powerful beings, well, not so powerful, but but they're like on the other side going, ooh, I know how to get to her. I'll say, oh, it's been a long time and he's still ignoring you. Does he really love you? Will he really show up? I don't know. Maybe we should do this. Maybe we should do that. Maybe, it's like they're like kind of taunting you on a subtle level that you're not aware of, because you're not, a lot of it is very, 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 very subtle and sneaky. And it's getting you to worry, to overeat, to do any number of things. And you have to learn to catch the energy. You have to protect yourself from it. Do some qigong or some energy work that'll help you tune into those subtle energies. And we all get tricked. We all get into these old patterns and things, but to be able to catch it quickly and move through it and do something about it is essential. It's really important. So you getting into a depression over your masculine, or the masculine being really doubtful about like maybe he's afraid he'll be rejected when he finally does come to you, or like there's doubts on both sides for these guys. But this is the test. You have to overcome the test. You've got to challenge yourself, and you have to at least have faith in the law of attraction, that if you are working your hardest to work on yourself and heighten your vibration and rise above any kind of circumstances that threaten to drag you down, the law of attraction guarantees that it will bring in what's in your vortex, it's like your little wish bag. You've been putting things in your little wish bag. Your subconscious mind has been like, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, I want that. And it's got all, especially if you've been doing that exercise that I talk about when you go to bed and you're like thinking of all the things that you love, that's all in that little bag swarming around in there. And your higher self wants to bring that to you. The planet wants to bring that to you. Mother Earth wants to bring it to you. God wants to bring it to you. The universe wants to bring it all to you. But you got to get out of your own way, get out of your head, get out of your ego, get out of your fear, in order to open up that whole bag of goodies. And it's all about to happen for you guys, but you can't let the darkness pull you down just before the surprise, just before this all happens for you. It's important that you show that you have faith in the universe and trust in the universe. Otherwise, like I've said before, when you get in the relationship, you'll be neurotic then too. If you're neurotic now, you'll be neurotic then. So work on yourselves and embrace being, if you're the feminine, embrace being single. Like, have an awesome time with being single. Make it the best time of your life. Make this your months long or years long bachelorette party. Have a great time. I'm not saying sleep around or whatever, but I'm just saying, have a really, really great time right now. Try to make this the best possible time of your life. Then you go into union with your masculine from a really good, positive place, and you feeling empowered. Don't be defeated. Also, another thing that's been coming up a lot is political warfare. I had somebody challenge me the other day, and he takes his glasses, puts them on the tip of his nose, and leans forward and says something intimidating to me about politics. So I looked him back the same way. I said, don't go there with me. And he just was like, oh, ignorant people, blah, 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 blah. He still kept trying to hook me. His ego was the little devil on his shoulder was like, ooh, say this, ooh, say that. Try to get her to, And so he's listening to that because he's totally unaware of what's going on. And he's just like, oh yeah, well, and then he starts complaining to the person beside him. Well, blah, 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 trying to get me engaged. And I just stayed just completely neutral. And I was like, not happening, not going there. I know that we believe very different things. I happen to know people in high places, and I know things other people don't know. And I believe things other people don't believe, but it's we all listen to what we're listening to, and we're all on the path we're on. I listen to what my intuition tells me is right, period. And what's right for you may be different. But ultimately, it's really, I think, about taking personal responsibility for ourselves and our own happiness. Ultimately, if we were to all do that on the planet, everything would operate differently. We'd be much more aware. We'd be much more kind, much more compassionate people. The planet would be a totally different place and completely transformed. And we wouldn't even we wouldn't even need politics. The whole thing is just silly. And it's all very tainted, and it's all very delusional. There's so much going on behind the scenes people aren't even aware of. And this person challenged me, and I had said something that, where he pretty much, started laughing at me. Oh, that's ridiculous. Where do you get your information? He thought he was so funny, and he thought he was so clever and so smart, to put me down and to make me feel beneath him, And I looked that information up just to find the source of the information. And I did not send it, at least not yet. I was just like, you know what? You better check your information. You better check your information seriously, because I know a lot that I'm not even going to speak about, nor do I need to. So, and then I got somebody who was she's like, or he, I'm not quite sure. I was going to order a reading from you, but then I looked in your resources page and I saw that you, recommend this person to watch. And do you really have those beliefs and stuff? And I was like, is it any of your business? I don't think so. We all are where we're at. We need to have respect for where we're at. I have respect enough for this other person's belief system that he can believe whatever he wants to believe. Whether I think it's right or wrong is none of my business. I believe what I believe. But ultimately, even more than politics, even beyond politics, I think we all need to take personal responsibility, period, end of story. We all need to evolve, be more self-aware, and our planet's going to change as a result. All of this is going to work out if we step into our power, if we really work on ourselves. So if you have this happening in your life, I would just encourage you, don't get into the ego battles, and don't go back and forth. Don't go, proving yourself. Because if you try to prove yourself, you're just going to, you're just gonna make the other person dig their heels in deeper, and then everybody's locked up. I even had, we're just talking tests here. Like I've had a lot of tests lately. Someone came to see me, and she was getting a reading at the Lighthouse. She's got her arms crossed like this, and she's leaning back like this. Everything I say, she's like, no, no, I don't know, no, nope. And I'm thinking, okay. And I'm like trying to open her heart. And she was like, nope, nope. I don't know what you're talking about. No. And I'm like, why would spirit be telling me all of these things and giving me all these images if you're not supposed to be, if you're not supposed to be touched by them? I have Kleenexes on my table because I help people break their hearts open in a good way. It's like they can cry, they can release, they can see things they've never been willing to see before. It's like coming to me is like a grand opening in a way, it can be if you're open to it. So she kept doing that, and she was just really stubborn, and she just would not, her posture showed everything, and she was just, doing this like the whole time, leaning way back and had her arms crossed. At one point she was like, I don't know, you're the psychic, you tell me. And I was like, I'm not dealing with this. Why am I wasting my time? Because she's so closed off. Like I don't even I can't get anywhere with her unless she opens her heart. So I just said, you know what? I'm wasting both of our times. We're wasting our time here. I don't want to charge you anymore for not listening to me. It doesn't make any sense. I was like, I can't do this. Let's just stop. She was so offended and so angry. She actually wrote a letter to the owner, and she asked for her money back. And she had asked me when we left, she goes, you're not going to charge me for this, are you? And I said, you just used up 20 minutes of my time, and I worked very, very, very hard for you. Very hard, like way more than I do with people who are totally open and flow with everything, right? I was like, I did that because I care about you. I did that because I wanted to help you have a breakthrough. I worked really hard, I should have charged you double or triple. I worked so hard. Yes, you're going to be charged, and then she ended up getting a refund from complaining and being a victim. And then she, then she wants to have it out with me and have me apologize or something. And I'm like, this is appalling. Apologize for what? For caring about you enough to try my very hardest and then not waste your money at a certain point because you weren't ready? What are you even talking about? That's what I'm talking about, you guys. We're just being tested all over the place. And things are going to look totally backwards. You're going to have people manipulate you from all angles and act like a victim and act like you're doing something and raise a stink and threaten you and, who knows? But laugh, just laugh, let it out, go out and, if it builds up inside of you and you just can't take it anymore, just go out in the woods, throw some eggs against some trees, yell, scream, dance, laugh really hard in your car, do laugh therapy, but let it go. Don't hold grudges, send blessings to those people, pray for them, pray that they are supported and loved, just like you, and put beautiful rose pink energy around the person and just give them an energetic hug. We're here to support and love each other through these things and to not judge each other. But you gotta see the truth for what it is so that you don't get sucked into whatever they're trying to sell you. Like that lady, it's like, I'm not buying into that. I know I'm really, I know what I'm doing. I've done this for quite a while now and worked with thousands of people. And I know what I'm doing. So, don't let people get you to doubt yourself either. And a lot of these people, like I said, are possessed or, they're just so in control, like the Eve, that little devil on their shoulders wants so bad to be right or to be justified or to, it's like they're still so stuck in their egos that they just, there's more of a need to be right than to make peace, than to, have harmony or to resolve something in such a way that it's good for everybody. You know what I mean? So have compassion, and when these freaky things happen, just get away from the energy. Don't engage. Whatever you do, don't engage. Just get away, or don't speak at all, or whatever. Don't go back and forth with that whole ping pong deal where you have to be right then, and then they have to be right, and then you have to be right, and then they have to, you know what I mean? It can be a struggle, but the idea is to rise above it all, you guys. And then when you get to be with your counterpart, you guys have each other's backs. You guys can talk about all of this, be on the same team so that you guys feel like you have a partner in this, and, stand firm together, but in love. So we're all learning how to unconditionally love right now, ourselves and each other and everyone. So trying to think if there was anything else. Okay, so also a lot of little mini reunions or unions are happening right now. When you order a quick relationship spread from me, which I just put out a video about the different services I have to offer, if you want to look that up and hear more about it, it's the first one even mentioned. So, we start chatting on WhatsApp, and I know I said that I don't get into conversations, but it's like the people who come to me on a regular basis and order on a regular basis, of course, we're going to start getting into conversation. So I hear these reports and things of what's going on, and I'm hearing more and more and more of those moments. Like yesterday, I saw the movie Yesterday. It was awesome, and it was such a great depiction of a twin flame journey. You guys got to see it. It's so great. So there are a couple different dynamics happening. There are people who love each other madly, and the other person's about to marry somebody else. And I know that in that last collective reading, I talked about, she's getting married. Don't take that so literally. Like, she may not be getting married. She may be thinking of getting married. She may be dating many men to find out who she's going to marry, just so be loosey-goosey when you watch these readings and stuff too. Anyway, so I've been hearing about some people who are, some of the masculines, well, somebody is about to get married to somebody else and they actually love the other person. The other person is like scared to express it. So it's like there's this thing where it's just, you just want to scream, like, just say that you love them. Just say you love them. It should fix the whole thing, right? So if you guys are in the situation where you have not expressed that you love the person that you love, please do it. Just do it. In person, on the phone, doesn't even matter, cute little text, whatever you want to do, but let them know you love them. You really don't want to miss an opportunity like this, okay? The other thing that's happening is there's this little back and forth dynamic. There's kind of like a, he comes, he goes, he comes, he goes kind of thing. But let them do that for a little while, because it's like they're getting acclimated to the situation. Don't think that, oh, now we're talking, so we're going to just jump right into something necessarily. Some of you are doing that. But those that are kind of like having that back and forth, be gracious, that be gentle, because it can be a little bit of a rough process, something for them to really kind of warm up to. And it can be very difficult for the masculines to open up in this way. So, be gracious. The other dynamic that's been going on is, I don't know. It's not coming back. So it must not be important to mention at this time. I might mention it like in another one of my, in one of the collective readings, or another one of these Lighthouse Alerts at some point. Anyway, keep optimistic, and know that when you're watching the collective readings, you're manifesting it just by watching it and resonating with it. And just have faith, and just know that everything's going to work out just beautifully. Just, keep your head up and don't get dragged down. Don't get dragged down by anything that happens. And learn to see changes this way. If you have sudden epiphany or something huge that happens, or you know, if some kind of major change happens that you weren't anticipating and you were really kind of counting on, look at it as if the universe is making like a course correction for you and getting you back on path. So it's a good thing. A lot of people are still moving and shifting around. It's craziness. Everybody's moving. They've been moving for months. Even if they move, they're moving again and again and again. And it's just like, wow, there's just a lot of flux right now and a lot of chaos. And you're able to tap into, you know, your happiest future only by staying really present in the moment and staying optimistic. So stay on the timeline that's going to skyrocket you to the success that we've been talking about. And don't let yourself get dragged down at this time by any of these tests. Don't take them personally. Have a good laugh and move right through them like they're nothing. Okay. You've always got me to talk to. You know, I've got my wait for my readings is only like a week or two, if that. So if you want to get like a 20-minute or a 45-minute reading from me, just go to amysatori.com and we can talk about your own journey, what you're going through. I can help with light language blessings. I can help you take a look at your energy field and talk to your guides and just, you know, go into depth for you at where you're at in your life and what you should do or could do best to navigate through wherever you're at. All right. God, I think that's it. If there's anything else, I guess I'll just tag it on to the next Lighthouse Alert, which would probably be coming within the next week or so. All right, have a beautiful day, you guys. Just know I'm sending you a big hug. You guys are going to be just fine. You'll make it through this just fine. And all right, guess we'll talk to you the next time and make one of these. Bye.